I saw the market was down today. I go, you know what? Time to throw.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? That circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives
Live
here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Midtown
Massapequa.
It's lovely.
And today's show is brought to us by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
Thank you, Michael Barasch, for your support. So we're back. It's Johnny Blood time. Patrick McDonald is
Hello,
on.
Patrick.
He was our guest 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
He came from Jersey by train, plane, and automobile. Our guest that traveled the furthest for one show.
Wow, it's amazing.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much for being here last week. 2 weeks ago. So we're back. 2 weeks we were away.
Yep.
I always ask you this, especially when you're not here or we have a hiatus, right? We had a hiatus for a week. Let me ask you this. What did you do? What major thing in your life did you do in those 2 weeks? Not go to the bagel store. What was something 2 weeks?
Okay. Well, this weekend was my son's birthday. 19th
year.
Yeah, but we did something
What?
good. We went and saw Book of Mormon. We went to the Wax Museum.
So you did a lot of things for
Madame
yourself,
Tussauds.
is what you're saying. Did a lot of things for
We
yourself.
went to Ellen Stardust. A waiter sang to us at our table and sat with us. Isn't that fun?
It sounds fun, but I mean, give me.
I mean, it's no pickleball.
Give me. See, it's no pickleball.
Right.
No pickleball.
Well, it's been a
pickleball
slow summer, John. I haven't been.
All right, you want me to tell you what I did? You want to hear my pada ping pow?
I didn't
happened
ask, but
yesterday.
yes.
That was our first guest today. Mike Roy was a firefighter with me.
Yeah.
So he's gonna tell you all the truths about me in Proby School and crying, climbing up the ladders and everything. But had guys doing my shed over, ripping the shed apart, just leaving the studs. It was a mess. It was old. It was dirty. Things were growing in it. When I have guys working on my house, I'm not a manual labor. There's only one guy I know that's less manual labor than I am.
Right.
And he's sitting next to me. So I'm out there, and here comes the guys. Now they're starting to carry the wood, right? So I just got to get out there, and be one of the guys.
Yeah.
So I start carrying stuff with them, And
can I get you guys?
I go, there's a nail in that, and I'm carrying everything. And I felt so macho. Man, 10 minutes of that work, I was hanging with them.
Right.
And then I went in my pool, and they could see me over the fence.
What happened to all our extra help?
Where did he go, that guy? I thought he was one of us. So the shed's being done, ripped apart. It's going to be beautiful.
What kind of shed? Metal?
I got a wood shed that my friend, a firefighter, actually built it for me years ago. Nice job, but it was old. It was, it was rotting.
No, your new shed.
So they just replaced the old. Just put the new outside on, and it's going to be nice. Bike racks. I'm going to hang my nice bikes there because I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to hang them right there.
Right.
Let them hang. Hey, Michael Milner.
There he is.
Rescue 4 retiree is watching, and Mike's not even on yet. So big doings though. You guys, you and Santo. Come on, George, come over here. You and Santo represented Laughter
look who
Saves.
happens to be in the studio.
Just happened to be in the studio.
Look at this.
Mr. Met.
Just happened to be here.
Listen, before you guys get into that, please, listen, I want Rich to stand up. I know you're going to talk about it, but I want Rich to stand up, show your shirt, because these shirts are going to be available for sale on our website within the next week to all of our fans.
Why do I find these things out last? I'm president of the foundation. So actually, Richie's shirt is going on sale.
Right.
We'll be selling these shirts.
I will sign it.
Half price for Richie's shirt.
Unwashed.
No washed. Well, before we start the thing, I went to 7-Eleven and I paid 54 cents for this bag. And I'm at that age. What did I say to the guy? It's a nice bag.
Can you do any better?
No, it's a nice
oh.
bag. What do you hit 50 and you start saying, it's a nice bag.
It's a nice bag.
So I got the bag. I
Yes.
got that shirt in here. But look at the shirt they brought back from the Cyclones game. Before
We
we
never
start.
even told them where we went. You didn't.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry, Brooklyn Cyclones, the Mets single A affiliate.
High A affiliate.
High A. Well, is there a low A?
Yeah, St. Lucie.
Oh, St. Louis. I couldn't remember what it was called.
There's 2 levels
Isn't that a
available.
nice shirt?
That is a nice.
That was the giveaway.
Yeah.
And then with our tickets, we got the hat.
And the hat,
We got
which
the hat.
now you're telling me this is like what the Brooklyn Dodge hat used to look like.
Well,
The same colors. You told me that.
blue.
Yeah, I got me all excited.
I
thought
think
was
it. I mean, it's in the ballpark of the.
You were
Yeah.
in the ball.
The
Okay,
ballpark.
so these two guys, we're supposed to have 15 people. Now it's a wonderful day. They have a memorial wall in Brooklyn. Have all the guys,
Beautiful memorial.
all the
Beautiful
guys that were
memorial.
lost on 9/11. They have like an engraved picture. I've never been there. I get sick. A few of my people, because I got sick, didn't want to go. Then some other people. So these two guys stuck it out and represented Laughter Saves Lives at the game. Nice little ceremony before.
And that's Rich with Sal
Well,
the
hold
Seagull.
on.
Oh.
He's got the.
Oh,
This
what?
is a big time show. We got the pictures.
Oh, you have the pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
I did my homework.
Yes, somebody took pictures.
I thought we had a wing
So
it.
here's part of the reason I wanted you on here
Okay.
is to scold you.
Why?
Because it's a beautiful day. The guys are carrying the flags.
Oh,
Did
you
get
should have
any-
seen them carrying the flag. Go to the
Show the
pictures.
picture of the
Beautiful.
guys carrying
Carrying
the
the
flag.
flag out
Beautiful
on the
ceremony.
field.
Where's the picture? None.
We don't have it.
No, you didn't take any. Did you take a picture of Saul? the guy-
Whatever picture we have
Yeah,
there.
let's see what you got, Richie. Got something. Must be something nice here. Bobby, show some of those pictures that Richie sent you this
of
afternoon.
this beautiful memorial.
I don't see the
service.
thing moving. We said, is somebody back there?
Yeah, they're up.
They're coming.
We don't see anything.
They're coming.
All right, so
So anyway, so we went. It was
Nice.
fun going with John. John,
So much
He's
fun
like-
going with this man.
he's like 12 years old. He brings all his baseballs in a bag that's
yeah,
clear.
yeah. I know. I've been to
His
Fort St.
shirts
Lucie
from
with him.
different games.
Met undies, met socks.
All the hats, they're actually folded in so they all fit together.
Nice.
He had it all.
And now, what did you?
And then what?
And you don't like to eat at this stage.
I don't even know if we sat.
I don't
and
think
watched
you
the
ate
game.
Oh no,
anything,
we
right?
ate at the stadium.
Yeah, we did.
They
That
have
was sarcastic.
Nathan's
That was
down the
sarc-
street. So all right,
How much is a hot dog?
it's a little bit cheaper than City Field.
$5
but
I hope
a piece.
so.
Here's all right, here, 2 hot dogs.
Yeah.
And Nathan's French fries and a 24-ounce soda. How much?
$12.
Yes.
$12.
$26.75.
That's a lot. That's not cheap.
Not cheap.
Not cheap for
Not
the
cheap.
high A baseball team.
Just a hot dog was like $5. You know, how did they get the $26.75?
They saw you coming with your dopey hat on. They said, "Oh,
They
$26.
took me. They
You
got
know,
me.
let
They
me
charged
just
you
say, I
13,
got to
right?
tell you what happened.
Go
Funny
ahead.
story. And John doesn't even know this story. So he's online, this long, massive
Oh, the
line,
line
to
was
get hot
ridiculous.
dogs,
hot
right?
dogs."
And I said, I want that primo sausage
That
with the
primo
peppers
sausage.
and onions, right? So I go wait on the line, and the guy goes, "We're all out of sausage." Yeah, I sold 300 sausage. He goes. So he goes, "We only have the hot sausage left." I go,
Ooh.
"I don't care. I'll take the hot
You're a hot
sausage."
guy. You can handle that.
And he gave them away. He goes, "Just take it. Just take
Really?
Oh,
it."
you
Just
didn't
take
tell me
it."
you
Oh,
got it
because
for
you
free.
disappointed
No,
you.
wait.
Well, he didn't want you to
I
eat anymore.
couldn't
He was worried about you getting sick.
Because right after that, then people after me had to pay. So I didn't want you to feel bad that I got a free sausage.
I would
after
have.
you paid.
He don't
shook
care.
it in.
This
No,
guy.
I
don't
didn't want
care.
to-
Jesus,
I
my
didn't want-
middle
I
name.
felt so bad. Like I couldn't even enjoy it.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
yeah. No, you're not.
Les Deegan came down tonight. He's in the
Yes.
audience.
We
You-
can't get him on
We
the show.
can't get him on the
Yeah.
show because there's too many people. I mean, Santos Lee, but even three's too many. He's
Yeah.
just here for a few minutes. He got us our headliner tonight, our comic, which was very nice to Les. And we had to disappoint him. We said we can't host the show, Les.
Right.
And he was very gracious about it. But let's just show your face, say hello to our audience just for a second. That was very nice of you to come down. There's Les
There's
Deegan.
Les.
That's all you'll see of him tonight. But it just that. All right. Listen. See, this is why. See, this is why.
This is what we can't-
So thank you, Les, though, for helping us tonight with that headliner.
By the way, apparently there's a very important message that Rich needs to.
Go ahead. Oh wait, we just get into the pictures, I think. Nope. Where did Richie send them to?
That's the fire department.
Some other. Did you send them to some other?
I
bar?
sent him to Bobby.
What are we looking
The
at?
same one that was on the.
It
right.
says, Rich Walker, we need eggs.
Oh,
Oh, all
you're
right.
right. Thank you.
From, from
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's your wife.
That's tomorrow.
Don't
That'll
you
be
talk
a
to her on the
Costco
phone or
day.
anything? She has
Yeah.
to zip into the show. All right. Do we have any flyers then? If we don't have the pictures, let's talk about the flyers. August 23rd, big show coming up.
Big show.
You're not on it, right?
I don't think so. Let me see.
No, August 23rd because you were not available. August 23rd.
See, look.
We have the,
I'm on it.
You weren't available. You told
I'm
me you weren't.
available.
No. You told me you weren't available.
Look.
You had to. We
Fully-
have the
So is Les.
Sambade family.
fully available.
To make a long story short,
Yeah.
the house burnt down. Had to move into a rental.
That
when
was
they're in
one
the
I
rental,
wanted to
The
do.
husband passes away, massive heart attack. They're in the rental now. They're losing the rental because there's a whole bunch of problems with the construction. In a few weeks, they're not going to have a place to live. We're doing this fundraiser. John Ziegler, are you on the show?
I'm right there.
Okay, I didn't see the fun. Les Deegan's
Les?
on the show. Well, I don't know why you're not on the show. Ziegler's a good friend of the family.
I'm home that weekend.
I don't know what happened there. Roseanne
Roseanne's
Sorrentino.
on the show. It's a big
Anything
show.
else we got? Any other shows coming up? You want to show the gala?
October 17th.
Mike Roy's coming to this one. It's
Let me see.
11/22. He's bringing the whole Proby class. It's our first fundraiser in 5 years. We're honoring Fight for Firefighters who builds the ramps.
Yeah, October 17th, fully open. Nothing.
No, we don't have a show. Terry Farrell, firefighters
Hold
of Delaware. We're going to Delaware.
Oh, that's
Delaware.
A good one.
Going to Delaware. Richie
That's-
couldn't come.
That's October.
We're going to
free.
Delaware.
I'm
Fully
free
open.
for Delaware.
That's going to be a nice time. We're
Fully
going down
open
there.
October.
I'm available. in Delaware.
Cathedral
Actually,
Prep.
I can't do October.
Cathedral Prep. I know you can't.
Yeah.
Just you and I are on the show.
That's good.
I sent the guy the pictures, the headshots. He called me. He goes, "Are you going to have any comics?" I thought that was an insult to both of us.
Oh, that's no.
That was an insult. But-
That's an insult.
All right. You know what we'll do? You're done. Did you want to add anything else?
And now November 16th, right?
Oh,
I
there
want
we
to go
go.
home.
Oh, nice. This is a cool show. Nassau County Junior Firefighters Association. We're raising money for the kids
Oh yeah.
that
no,
are junior firefighters training to be
Oh,
on
that's
volleys.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good show. You again turned it down. You know,
I
you
turned it
said
down. I don't want any part of that
you
shit.
said I don't want to do any shows with firefighters or kids. On
No.
November 22nd, the big
gala.
one, the big almost gala in memory of my mom. We're gonna honor a Fight for Firefighters and Lonnie from General Needs. They supply basic stuff for homeless
That
and
is
veterans.
November.
All right, let's go to commercial, and we'll be back with our first guest, Lieutenant Mike Roy.
I'm going home.
You're going home.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
All right, we'll figure it out. And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives. Live.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a special. It's our hero segment. Do we have a hero. Didn't we make up a hero thing like the pickleball? We didn't do the pickleball segment.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
We have our hero segment. Mike Roy, Lieutenant Mike Roy, excuse me, retired from the FDNY. Oh, the greatest fire department in the world, baby. Greatest fire department, and the most handsome men come out of that department.
Look at that.
So Mike, though, special. This week was 37?
37 years.
37 years since we got into the start of the academy. That was July 13th, because my daughter's birthday is the 14th. I always get it mixed up. And I saw Mike put a little post. And I said, wouldn't it be nice? It was 120?
125 guys.
125 guys. Wouldn't it be nice to get a few of these guys on? One guy responded. That's it.
Everybody's on vacation.
That's what they say. They go LaRocca, you know.
That's just the summer excuse.
It's the summer shoot. But Mike is here, and we were the class.
It's Halloween time. Then they don't come on, you know.
July of 87. Correct?
July 13.
What do you remember about? Now, I was going to tell you a story. What do you remember about that? Because a lot of the guys at my platoon remember that almost every day, the first week, when they said, what did I say at the end of the day? Everybody's exhausted. Everybody's tired. They want to get out of that academy, get in the car, and get home. And he says at the end of the day, does anybody have any questions? You don't ask a question. You don't do it.
Right.
Here comes Johnny L. Here comes Johnny.
No,
Lieutenant,
you're that guy.
if the hose wraps around the car, and everybody would go like, so after the first week, I was taken aside by the few of the guys after lunch and never asked a question again.
You know, I used to be in the insurance business, and the number one rule in a meeting is never ask a question unless you already know the answer, because they're going to reverse it on you. Well, you know what I used to get? Like you probably got. You know, that would be a great little project for you.
Yes,
yes. You know, it'd be a great idea if we did this. Well, that would be.
So what do you remember
Just
about?
like when they ask somebody to volunteer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never volunteer.
Never. No.
No, I always say when I taught at the fire academy, nobody wants to teach at the fire academy. It's 5 days a week or 4 daid a week. We work at 24s. We have off 3 or 4 days. I said they were asked for instructors after 9/11, and everybody stepped backwards. And I was standing there. LaRocca, you're in. That's how I got to teach. So tell us a little bit about your experience in that Proby school. What did you do before that?
You got 30 seconds.
I was a fireman in Florida for 6 years.
Really?
Where? What town in Florida?
A city called Pinellas Park.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody really knew that, especially the guys in my carpool.
You didn't want to tell them.
I didn't want to tell anybody.
What kind
Was
of
it easy
fires
gig?
down there? A lot of brush fires.
Oh, yeah, there's brush fires.
Oranges.
Mostly medical.
Calls for alligators.
Medical. They did medical.
No, but they trained us how to deal with the alligators.
Yeah,
the
wrestling.
sheriff's office came over and trained us for that. But
cool.
Why did the sheriff's office push it on you guys? Why couldn't you handle it?
Because we have the ropes.
Oh.
We're more available generally than they are. There's more of us than there are.
Gotcha.
All right. So you're out there 6 years. You apply. I guess you were still living here. Had an address here. However it worked out.
I had an address here with friends that when I left New York.
Good. So you take the test. How did you do?
I don't know. Top 10%.
All right,
we were in the 2000s.
All right. So you were below me. So then, no, I'm kidding. So we were in the same because we got in the same class. All right, so you get on the jab, and what was your first, surprise? Now, you were firefighter in Florida, but a little different, I would say.
It was a little different, but with the academy, it was different. You know?
A little more strict?
More strict.
Hot?
Well, boys summer. It was July. I mean, forget it.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hot summer.
Yeah.
But that's what they generally are.
Right.
Hot in the summer.
in the summer.
So we were at lunch. So we're behind this building. We're outside. It wasn't too bad this day. And all of a sudden, there was some kind of power surge at the Astoria Electric Con Edison plant right across the river. And the loudest sounds were coming out of this thing, like it was releasing the pressure from the steam.
Wow.
And we're all sitting there, and everybody's like, whoa, what was that? And here comes Billy Kavanaugh. He was like the class clown. I'm sorry. He was like the class clown. He just comes from the riverside and starts running away from it. Save yourselves, run for your life. And he come whipping by everybody as fast as he
No, he was in our class.
He was going to.
How did the officers handle it? Did they laugh?
Oh, it was hysterical.
All right.
Everybody laughed.
Because they were strict. They were strict.
They were strict, but they couldn't stop laughing. He was
funny.
a clown. I mean,
that's funny. Yeah, I told him, I said, funny. I was not funny in a firehouse.
Right.
I wanted to do my job. And plus, you want the guys to take you seriously. I was not the bravest guy when I got afraid of heights. I mean, I was a mess getting on that job.
You got assigned to a truck, right?
Yeah, they did that on purpose. They knew I was afraid of heights. Wow. When I got into the academy, second day, you're climbing the ladders on lunch. I had 5 minutes to eat. I don't know if you remember climbing the ladders for weeks because I was so. But I wasn't a funny guy in the firehouse because there's so many funny guys like this guy, just so many funny guys that's why I started the foundation, because they made me laugh. And why not make people laugh in their name? So you're in the academy. Any other funny stories that you have about that? That's kind of funny.
Well, we had a couple of guys that were afraid of heights.
Okay.
And they were afraid to go into like the smokehouse. So you had to like nudge them a little bit more until they got a little more comfortable. And I don't want to say anybody was like, screaming or crying.
You didn't hear me. That's why.
Yeah. The mask muffled it.
You didn't hear. No.
The crackling of the fire was too loud.
Yes. Couldn't hear it over that.
Let me tell you something. The smokehouse, they set real fires off.
Back then.
Back then.
And you had to take your mask off.
Oh, yeah.
You had to take your mask off. Yeah, in there, in the smoke. Now, I have to tell you that, I never went away to camp, never went away to school. I was scared, but I didn't let anybody know it. But Mike, there's a black guy in the class, Mike Miller. He knew that I had a little bit of fear in me. And when we were in those situations, he would call Roki, he would really egg me on. Who was the
While
first?
he was awake?
Yes. He was the first one that passed out, that they had to take out on a stretcher.
And you pulled him out.
And he never said a word to me after that. No, I didn't pull him out. So yeah, hot academy. So you're assigned now. You leave the academy. We get an assignment. Where are you assigned?
I get assigned to 7 Engine.
Where is that?
Duane Street, 2 blocks behind City Hall.
Okay, so you're down there near the World Trade Center.
Yes.
And you stayed there for how long?
In Duane Street, I stayed there for 4 years. But when I got to 7 Engine, back then you had to do the 30-day detail to the opposite company, and usually out of the house. So when they were going to send me to a 10 truck or 15 truck, they said, no, we need guys in 1 truck, which is in the house, so you're going to stay here.
Oh, that was good.
So I stayed there, and getting close to the 30 days, the captain of the company says, I want to keep you. You want to stay?
Nice. Guys prefer to work in the truck because they force in the doors, they make the rescues, the engine stretches the hose and puts out the fire kind of behind them most times. So they get a lot of the glory of the truck, because they'll pull out somebody, and the engine will knock down the fire.
Yeah,
you bust their balls, and we'll make a rescue. And everybody,
so John, right behind you, you have a couple trucks. If you could lean and point to the trucks that we're talking about here.
Yeah, there's an engine in the truck. These are an exception. Hazmat is a specialty unit, and so is the squad, which can work as an engine. We're a squad here, but they also do some other stuff: rescues, water rescues, roped rescues, and supplement rescue, which you then ultimately went into rescue. No?
Well, I went to Squad 41 after 1 truck, and stayed up there for 5 years during what we call the crack years. And the fire duty was ridiculous. It was just so much. And, everybody always talks about the war years, back in the late 60s and the 70s when the city was
burning down.
And this would have been the closest to the war years that anybody ever would have had, and I don't think they'll ever have that again. It's never going to happen.
And FDNY, you can't work more than 24-hour shifts. Around the country, some of these departments work 3 days in a row, whatever, because of houses like you're exhausted. There's no way you can work more than a 24. You're dead exhausted after a lot of 12.
How many days off after that?
It depends. The schedule's really weird, Richie, but I would say in general 3 or 4. 3 or 4. It's a nice schedule. It's a nice job.
Yeah, it is.
You can work a side job. It's a nice job, but there are times every once in a while, and I always say, if you never had fear on the job, then there's something wrong with you. If you don't fear something that can kill you and hurt you, there's something wrong with you, right? But there was so much fun time in the firehouse, in the kitchen, and then every once in a while you'd be like, holy crap, this is serious stuff.
That was close.
Yeah.
Or, oh man.
But you were busier than I was up there.
Oh, it was insanely busy. I mean, the fire duty was ridiculous. My father worked in 96 Engine during the war years. And that was, the South Bronx company, and they were working, and I used to hear the stories.
Right.
So it was.
Did he listen to your stories?
Some of them, but I didn't give him too many. I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Sure.
What was John's nickname when you worked with him? Did he have a nickname?
What would it have been?
Squirrel.
Why Squirrel?
He's always like squirreling around the firehouse, squirreling around the fire scene.
Missing the truck.
Well, maybe once or twice. Sitting on the meal, being quiet.
Yeah. I'm going to warm up the potatoes, guys.
We did have those guys in the firehouse, you go, I'm out on the meal. Like, I'm not paying for the meal. And then we catch them at 3 a.m. eating the leftovers.
Eating all the
That's
leftovers.
the squirrel.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What do we call them? Squirrel. No. What was it called? Anyway, you had guys
Square
like that.
rooters.
Got it.
What was it?
Square rooters.
Well, yes, but there was a specific term for the late night snackers. All right, so you're in squad 41. You're a lieutenant yet?
No.
Okay. So how did you do on the test?
I did pretty good.
Yeah, I failed 3 times. I should have studied with you.
I did pretty good. After 41, I was asked by the captain of Rescue 4 to go to Rescue 4.
Now we're talking serious stuff here, Richie. Those are the firefighters that rescue the firefighters.
Ooh, wow.
The rescue companies.
The Navy SEALs have you of the fire department.
Yes. Good. I like that. Yes.
Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Rangers.
Highly trained.
What was your biggest rescue? What was the
good question.
What was the what?
Biggest
your
rescue.
Biggest rescue. What do you never forget?
The one I'll never forget. There were a few, but the one I would never forget is rescuing one of our own, Brian Fahey. Brian Fahey, who got killed on 9/11.
Yeah.
We had this ripping job in Astoria, and he was coming down the stairs, and he got on the half landing, with a big marble half landing.
Going.
Well, below it was, and he went through the landing. And they always tell you when you go to those landings, always walk on the edges because that's where the angle lines are.
Right.
And that's where the most stability is. But I guess he stepped closer to the middle.
He was a big boy.
He was no lightweight.
Right. He was a big boy. I worked with him.
He had some girth.
Yeah.
And he went through, but he was able to grab the newel post right before he went all the way through. And he started screaming. And me and another guy from Rescue 4 were on the landing below him. And heard it and looked and saw him like go to grab, and it's like right up, get him out of there, because if he went, he was going down 3 floors because there were no other landings there,
right?
And he would have went right into the fire. So
these guys, they're constantly training, rescuing squad, constantly training, because when you're in a situation like that, there's no. I don't want to say there's no thinking. You have to react right away, or it's over.
It's got to be,
for yourself,
like a sixth sense. You have to be able to react right away,
and properly. Properly. You're saying the outside of it. Who would think of that when you're in a fire and things are hitting the fan? Oh, make sure I step on the outside of the landing. It's.
I mean, they do teach you that in probie school.
Yeah.
Because guys have gotten hurt and killed that way, so they want to make sure that when you get out of school, they tell you these certain things.
Right. So
I mean,
step along the walls, the perimeter.
Along the perimeter. Yeah, we only had 7 weeks of probie school. Now it's 18.
Wow.
Now these guys got to do CFR. They do hazmat training. They do, terrorist kind of training. They do a lot of stuff. But 7 weeks for us get out in the field.
Yeah. I was lucky enough that I was able to teach a lot of the probies, the hazmat stuff. And that was an honor to be able to do that. Before they go out in the field, they get a lot of training when they added the hazmat. That was pretty cool that we got to do that.
Well, I felt honored to be able to, when they were forming the new squads,
right,
to be able to go to the Rock and train the guys who were coming to,
right,
who like tried out and got assigned to the new squads, and before they got up and running as full squads, that we had to train them.
A squad is like a rescue, kind of they back up the rescue or mini rescue, or if they're there first, they're doing a lot of that type of stuff.
They have the same exact training as the rescue companies now, and just about all the equipment. So they can work independently, from a rescue if they have to, or the rescues supplement the squads when the squads get in first too at any of these type of emergencies. So it's changed a lot, and it's hand in hand. But
now, go ahead.
When I was in the squad 41, it was only 2 squads at that time.
Hold on, Mike.
What?
You got the door open?
Les,
What?
what are you doing? We got-
Bobby said I'm just sitting around doing nothing. Can I help clean up a little bit?
I think he meant on the other studio, not the live show.
Yeah, you're
I
not
would think.
supposed to.
Oh, not
Not
here?
No,
us.
remember,
We're
like
in the
we
middle
couldn't
of a
fit
show.
you into the show. It was.
Oh.
I apologize.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do I know? Okay.
If you can't fit him into the show, we'll fit himself in.
So it's Les Deegan again. Les Deegan was here.
Another
I don't know if you know he's
every
here, but
day's
let's.
another adventure.
All right, so I apologize. So guys, what you were saying?
Do you look back and you go,
Did I do that?
well, you look
I
at
do that.
like equipment today, how much easier a
Basically the
task
same,
would be.
right? It's
What?
basically pretty much the same. The equipment, right?
Really?
Well, a lot of the stuff now is battery operated. Like the Hearst tools are battery
Oh, yeah.
operated.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the hand tools are battery operated now. You're
From
not stretching
gas.
extension cords
Yeah.
and all this other stuff, or pneumatic stuff off of the rig.
Computerized. I'm surprised that the whole.
Well,
truck
don't they
is-
have now on the job where they can they put the like the division used to have the board. They have all that on the computer now where everybody is in the building.
Everything's gotten high tech. They
Yeah.
got drones
Yeah,
over the
drones
fires
now,
now.
which is cool.
You know,
Do they
it's
spray or just look?
no,
Look.
they just look.
Look,
They look.
and they carry a little can like this. And they
Yeah, but I've seen
They
some.
put out-
I've seen some videos
Like
of
a
drones.
409
put out a barbecue.
These big drones that actually pick up a line and can go up like 10 or so
Hose
stories.
line. Holy, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's got to be
That's a
pretty.
lot of weight.
That's a lot
a
of
lot
weight.
of weight.
Yeah.
A lot
That's
of weight.
a lot of weight.
The average fry. You said you got the guys rescuing, you got guys stretching the hose line. There's a whole science to stretch a hose line properly, right?
Oh,
you can't
absolutely.
stretch too short. You can't stretch too much because it'll kink and it's. There's a whole like you watch a fire and you go, oh my god, look at this confusion. There's a little confusion, organized confusion.
Organized
You know,
confusion.
when John goes through the fire, he's like this with the hose. 1 minute push. And he goes through and he goes,
No, I would
Was
usually I was on the other side of the street going, hey, there's something out that window.
Don't go there.
Mike, get up there.
He was in the hazmat rig in the little office there on the radio.
Hey guys, how many pounds? You mentioned it. How many pounds of pressure does a line throw off?
Butch, I don't. He would know better than I do because he studied and he passed. But I don't think the average Joe would understand how much pressure that is.
No,
But how many guys we need to hold a 2.5-inch hose line?
3 guys for the most part. I mean,
I think that's more of an understanding. You got to have 3 people holding that
what
hose
if it
line.
gets away from you? You cut it?
Problem. You got a problem. It's
you
whipping.
can't. You can't let it get away from
Yeah,
you.
it'll kill
So you can
somebody.
kill somebody.
It'll kill somebody.
Yeah.
It'll kill somebody.
But there's a tactic in order to get it if it does get away from somebody.
Yes. You take the heavy.
You have to jump on it, don't you? Basically,
Well, you have to jump on it further away from the nozzle.
Right.
right.
Arms out in front of you on the hose and crawl your way up to the nozzle to be able to shut it
Did you ever
off
see that?
and get control. I did see it once.
You just see it once?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Quickly, this question, because this is really cool. There's been a number of roof rescues in the FDNY where we slide off a roof. Somebody's hanging out of the 15th floor, and the firefighters tie off on the roof, and somebody slides over and grabs this person out of a window and goes to a lower floor. They break the window, and they pull them in.
Right.
Were you ever at a job where that happened, or were you involved with one of those?
Twice.
You were involved with 2 of them?
Twice.
And what
Yes.
position did you have?
I had the outside position, so it was either the OV or the roof guy. In
No,
the
I mean,
squad, or the rescue.
on that rope. Were you?
Oh, I was swinging.
You
I was swinging.
Really?
If the term on the job is when you have the life-saving rope, if you're bringing, you're swinging.
If you're bringing your swing, because honestly, that's what you would want. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to make that rescue.
You want to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
you're
trained
trained.
for it.
You're trained.
It's
You're
second
trained.
nature to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think twice. So
Well, that's what people said to me. No, you're afraid of heights, whatever. I was trained to do that. Am I going to tell you that I would be like, hey, if I'm the guy there, I would do it. I wouldn't be like, hey, but I would do it because that's what you're training. My wife, we were watching one a few years ago. My wife goes, would you have done that? I go, well, I was trained. Yes, I would have did it. I would have been a little different.
Would have been happy about doing it.
They would have been, hey, look, there's a fireman grabbing somebody out the window, and he's crying like a baby.
What about zip lines? They don't set up a zip line.
No.
That's only in Hollywood. We're trained to do it though.
Oh, you are.
But it's only in Hollywood.
Why can't they do it? Why can't somebody invent the system that just latches on and
where are you going to latch it on?
Where are you going to latch it to the other building?
On another.
How are you going to get it to
How are you going to get to the other building?
Someone runs up like
and you throw it to him.
Shoot
it to him. You can shoot it to him with a
the Lyle gun that the rescue companies carry. Has the rope, shoots it
shoot
over, and then they pull the
FDN
rope.
There you go. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's what all right, Mike. We have to go. I apologize.
That's okay.
No, we got another minute or two. Is there anything you want to add? You want to give props to any of you guys?
Yeah.
Maybe some of the guys that were lost on 9/11 that you were close with.
Oh,
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
I mean,
SOC lost so many guys.
SOC lost over 100 guys in the command.
Explain that the percentage of SOC that was lost as opposed to the rest of the job. Special Operations Command, the rescues, the squads, hazmat,
the boats,
everything. There was 40%. Was that a third of those guys, as opposed to the rest of the job, it was like a much lower number.
Yeah,
much lower.
It's hard to really.
They came out with I can't remember it. But the point is, the most highly trained guys on the FDNY, a third of them, years of training were lost in one day. That was a
challenge for the command afterwards.
Yeah,
to
keep it going. Yeah,
because you got to get all these guys. Because I was promoted by that time, and I was bouncing around in the 13th Division in South Queens. And then on 9/11, I got the phone call to report to Roosevelt Island. Yeah. Got there, we jumped in the Suburban, did a thing, and then they kept some of us because we were already trained. We're officers.
Right.
We lost a lot of officers.
Right.
And we were already trained, so they don't have to bring officers in from the companies to try to train them now to be rescue or squad officers. And now you got guys, firemen coming in that have to be trained. Also.
It was a scary time.
They kept a bunch of us.
But the thing is, because of guys like this,
and
what I'm saying is training these new guys and filling the spots because of guys like this, the FDNY continued. I'm not going to say without a hitch, without a bump. That was a rough time those few years after, but you did good work, my brother. You really did too.
It yourself.
Oh, thank you.
You got to get the job back up to speed.
Yeah, it was an honor. It really was an honor to work with people like this. I thoroughly enjoyed it and thoroughly, the whole situation was very moving. But to get through it and work with people like this after, to see how much pride these guys had. This is our department. We're going to bring it back, and that's what those guys would have wanted, and that's what we did.
Absolutely.
That's what we did. All right. You are the man. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to go to break, and we're going to be back with our comic Steve Middleman.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
It helped me so much. And we're back. Laughter Shakes live. Balance a sec. Before your daughter comes out and yells at us, we balanced out here, Richie.
Yeah.
We're back. What a great guest, Lieutenant Mike Roy. I love having the brothers on.
Amazing.
Heroes, heroes, heroes. Our next guest, this gentleman, unbelievable background. He is a stand-up comic, an actor, started in the 80s. I'm just looking at his, I'm cheating here. I'm looking at his bio because he's been on, check this out. He's been on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Jay Leno, David Letterman, HBO. He's worked with Leno, Seinfeld, Ray Romano, Rich Walker, Drew Carey, Ellen, Roseanne, Dennis Miller, Bill Maher, and many, many more. Nice warm welcome for our guest comic, Steve Middleman.
Hey, he's back.
Hey.
Great to see you guys. And look how sad my life is now since the 80s. I have to wear readers to be on a Zoom show on Friends. Okay, look at that.
You look great. You look great, man.
It makes you look a little, you look sophisticated. These are, you know, I got to thank the dollar store. I look sophisticated, right?
We're all getting into that look.
I like your green screen background. You have the bike
Oh,
cover.
yeah. Look at this.
I love that.
New York, hey, baby.
New York Mets, baby.
That's right.
I love it. That is a green screen, right?
No, that's me. That's, you know, that's you know, exercise right behind me.
Just, it's hysterical because it's like most of us use it with holding the laundry over the bike. So
I know. You could tell I'm a jock, right? You know, you could tell I'm a jock.
You're in great shape. So my first question to you is because I know you were in the movie with Steve Martin, which I love that movie. I can't remember the name of it, but I love it.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. And you were a firefighter, right?
Well, I was one of the funny firemen. Look at this. Look, here I am. I saw him in Vegas. We were hanging out afterwards. Yay.
Oh, cool.
Nice guy. Very sweet, very talented guy. I'm going to listen. I didn't think about this till I'm watching the show and watch your interview before. And first of all, they say laughter is the best medicine. The life vac is pretty darn great medicine, way beyond laughter. But you know, we're talking about the smokehouse, right?
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like a restaurant. It doesn't sound like what you're talking about. It's a smokehouse, right?
So if it was smokehouse restaurant, John would have been in there faster.
That's right. But look at this. This is my hat, the Nelson Volunteer Fire Department from Roxanne. And so I'll tell you what, I've thought about doing this before being on the show, way before, because I've worn this only like 40 years ago during the movie, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I hear you can auction these off, you know, people that are fanatics for, you know, I would start off, I hear they're worth $2,000 to $3,000, but I will donate and I will, whatever you raise, I don't know who, if anybody's a fanatic for Roxanne, because it was a hit movie.
Yeah,
I will split and donate half of it to your, whatever you want, to the firemen. I love firemen. I didn't think about this till I'm watching the show, but seriously, if you guys want to start at a certain number, I also do auctions, but I can't do it here.
Here's what I'll do, Steve. We'll raffle that.
Put it on your website. Put it on your website.
Yeah, we'll do it ahead of time. But we have our big fundraiser 11/22 for Laughter Saves Lives. So we'll culminate it there, and we'll raffle it off that night. That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Want to do that? Split it down the middle with you. You get 2,000, you get 1,000. You know, beautiful. That's down the middle for your organization.
Math,
right?
Steve, let me do the math. All right, so Johnny Carson, my favorite. Richie you love Johnny Carson, no?
What's my son's name?
Look what I got here too. Look's at my desk. Letterman right here.
My God, you're raffling that off too.
I'm gonna top your mug. My son's name is Carson, after Johnny Carson.
No way.
Seriously.
My wife's name is Johnny Carson. Topped you.
If you want to hear my story about Carson, okay, now I can feel like I'm a idiot.
Let's hear it.
Right. I wish I could stand, but I can't stand. But okay. But here's the story. When I was a kid, I grew up in Queens, New York, in Glen Oaks. You too, Glen Oaks?
No,
Really?
I grew up in Middle Village. I grew up in Middle Village. Went to Forest Hills High School.
Got it. Springfield Gardens High School. I was the white guy. I was the white guy.
All right.
So anyway, we grew up and my parents had a zenith in Rochdale Village. We had a 3-bedroom thing, and from my bedroom, I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. I could see this much of the zenith, and I'd see Carson's head, the way that the hallway, was set up, and he'd be getting laughs. And I had a miserable childhood. Seriously, laughter saves lives. Laughter saved my life. So I loved it. My parents had no idea I was up. I was a young kid, and I'm watching this guy get laughs every night. And I went, man, I'd love that. I mean, laughter truly saved my life. I had a miserable childhood. So the cliche about, audience comics need the hug from the audience. That's why they go into comedy. Right? That was me, truly me. Until I went into therapy, I got a hug from my therapist. I go, what's this? I didn't even know what it was, what a hug was.
Right.
And it was like the first time I was ever hugged. So laughter saved my life. Trust me. Now, I'm watching Carson every night, and that was like a vacation from a shitty childhood, right? Clean comic, shitty childhood.
Me too.
Okay, now I go, I want to do that. I'd like to do that. That looks like a lot of fun.
Right.
So I had an older brother and sister, and they were my audience, and they would laugh at me, and so I had an audience, which was great. And my goal from day one, everybody was, I started the same summer as, Reiser and, Seinfeld. These are old friends, and everybody's goal was Carson. And after a few years, I got pretty good, and I won the laugh off on Showtime. I beat Eddie Murphy, and he still hates me for beating him on. Anyway,
wow,
so
that's an accomplishment.
He hates me. Okay, so that was a big deal. That was on Showtime. So the deal is, they flew us out. Mark Schiff and I, they flew us out because we came in first and second on the big laugh off on Showtime. You should guys check it out on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Steve Middleman, 2 T's. Middle MITTLEMN, just the big laugh off. You'll get a kick out of it. I don't look like the same guy anymore. So they had me audition for the Tonight Show. I wasn't ready for it. But back then when I started, when you did great shows, and comedy clubs bloomed when I was, it was like explosion of comedy when I started. And you would do a great set, and you'd meet the audience afterwards, and they go, you do Johnny. That's how they put it. You do Johnny? Everybody, the whole country. You do Johnny, meaning Tonight Show. And I go, no, not yet. And they'd go, you're Johnny's kind of comedian. You're Johnny's kind of, that's how they would say it. And then I'd audition for Jim McCauley, who was the booker forever. And he'd go, I don't think you're Johnny's kind of comedian. I go, you don't understand. Everybody's telling me I'm Johnny's kind of comedian. And
can I stop you 1 second?
Sure.
Did Johnny have to give the final rubber stamp to all the comics, or did the booker?
The booker.
Oh, wow.
The booker. So I'd audition and audition and audition. You're not Johnny's kind of comedian. But meanwhile, I'm doing 6, 7, 8 shows a week at comedy clubs, working 30 weeks a year. I'm getting really good. You're Johnny's kind of comedian. You're Johnny's kind of comedian. So I finally, after like 10 auditions, I got the Tonight Show. It's like a dream come true from when I was a kid in Queens, looking at the zenith and this much of his head, right? And I did the show, and I did my chin material. I had this thing about having a weak chin. All this bit about having a weak chin, and I killed. And now Macaulay goes, You got to meet Johnny. You got to meet Johnny. So
Okay.
I meet Johnny afterwards. He looks me in the eye. We shake hands. He goes, "You are my kind of comedian."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the greatest ending to like from 40 years. I don't know, like 30, about 30 years.
Today, I mean, there's no talk show today that was like, hey, you have to get on Carson back then. I don't think there's one show that stands out as much as the Tonight Show.
I loved Letterman. I did Letterman, which was fun. But I think Colbert's funny. Sometimes we skip the 20 minutes are way too long. You know what I mean? Letterman was really smart. He would do like 8 jokes. He would do 8 jokes, and he would not beat it to death.
Right.
They overdo it on Colbert, but I like Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's a funny guy.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I love Conan too. Have you been on Conan?
No, I wish I did. You know, Jeff Garland, who was friends with him. You know, Jeff played Green on Curb Your
Enthusiasm.
Right. So when what's his name was leaving, the guy that was Conan's sidekick, I forget his name.
Andy Richter.
Andy Richter. He said, "You'd be a great sidekick," and I go, "Yeah, I would be a great sidekick." And he pitched me as a sidekick to replace him. And for a while, Conan they didn't want a sidekick. So but I wish that was really weird. I'm 6'4", he's 6'4", I had no idea it was so tall.
Perfect.
What would have been funny? And I got my height from my parents. Mom's 3'2", dad's 3'2".
Oh. Steve, I have a Steve Middleman story for you that you don't know. When I was in
brace yourself,
late teens, early 20s, first of all, I grew up watching comedians like crazy, as most comedians do. And on the top of my television set, I had an index card. And on that index card, I would write down comics that I have to see. And your name is one of the 10 or 12 that were on.
Wow. And also, Steve, he also wrote down a lot of your jokes, and he's been using them.
Never.
We have a caller. We have a caller.
We have a caller?
We don't even have a phone line.
We've never had a
caller.
Hello?
Never had a caller. We have a caller that wants to ask you a question.
Hello?
Caller?
Can you hear me?
Come on, caller.
Am I on the air?
Come closer.
Am I talking to Steve Middleman?
Yes. Come closer.
Can he hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah. My name's Les. I'm from Seaford, Long Island.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
And I know Steve's a very big Met fan, and I don't know if I can possibly ask him a question. Can I do that?
Yes,
please.
We're dying to get on all night.
Right,
Listen, question.
I know you're a big.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. I can't hear. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
And they were hoping that Senga would come back and really, help boost up the rotation. He hurt his hair after a great performance. I think the Mets should bring back Bartolo Colon because.
Oh my God! Well, at least for his bat, especially.
Do you think they should bring back Bartolo?
Now let's hear Steve.
You know something? There is absolutely not one day that goes by where he could be a DH easily.
Yeah.
He could DH for the Mets. Martinez is not playing like he was a couple of months ago, right? But Bartolo's he was one of the greatest. By the way, I want to say
the best.
Bartolo, you want to hug Bartolo. You don't want to let him hit. He had that kind of.
They have a fun team this year. They have a very fun team this year. Les, you're done. Les, you're done.
We're both holding our phones, and neither one of us are really on it.
He got on. Les finally got on.
See you, Steve.
Hey.
Wow.
Steve, when are you gonna be in New York? Let's go to a game together.
I'd love it. In fact, if you want to fly out, I'm going to 2 Met Angel games on Saturday and Sunday. Actually,
nice.
Go.
I wish I could.
Yeah,
my wife told me get out of the house, but don't go too far. So I can't go that far.
Well,
we'd love to go to the game, Les. You know, when you come to New York.
I will do. We will do it. I bet you I moved to L.A. in '85. I bet I've been back, and I've gone to 40 games at least since, and I would go to Met Dodger games and occasionally Met Angel. But I want to tell you this right here.
We have 30 seconds, Steve.
This is this got everything going here, right? My stickball bat. I had the best late-breaking curveball in Queens. I could throw, and the ball would break like that.
Yeah.
This is how you do it, just like Spock.
Yes.
I was imitating Spock, just like that. Late-breaking curve. Hey, you guys, listen. We'll figure it out with the cap, right? And let's do this again. Thank you for having me.
Steve, thank you so much.
It's
man.
an honor.
Thank you, time. Thank you to Mike Roy, Mike Roy. Thank you to Les Keegan. Thank you to John Santo. Butch Seltzer, great job putting the show together. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We're going to the diner.